I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so what I do here, I am gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. Introduce. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I can put my lipstick on. Let's get the lipstick on. What do you know? Now, I don't know. Okay. So, okay. All right. I'm going to close this. And then I did do all that? Oh gosh, I did do that. Okay. God. It's all, I can't figure it out. And I think I am doing something. Oh, gosh. Gotta do the opposite. Hello, Anne. All righty. Let's see here.
Hi, Heather.
Hello, Anne.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I like I'm doing well. I like your background.
Oh, this is Cindy's brother and his wife, Mary. This is their backyard.
Oh, very nice. I also like the photo you put on your invitation to the Sunday meeting.
What photo did I put again?
You're in a really pretty blue coat, and you're holding up the paintbrushes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's great. I like that.
Thank you. Hey, can you put your video on?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. I'm going to ask everybody when they come, just for a temporary period of time, to share their video, share their name, their location, and then share one thing that calms you. What's one thing that calms you? So everybody kind of see if we can share name, location, and one thing that calms you. And then we'll go off the video and audio. Everybody will be sitting back quiet, but start something, get a little something where since when we're online and we can't see each other, it is very odd and different from when you're in the same room, and especially like when you're teaching and you can see the students, you can see when they're checking out and all that, but you can't see that online.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll bet you most people go online and check their email and everything while they're listening. I'll bet.
Yes, or chewing something, or.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But how you're looking good?
Well, thank you. I had an acupuncture treatment yesterday, and my second treatment. I was a little tired after the treatment, so I came home and took a nap.
Wonderful. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it felt good though. So
Well, good. So the acupuncture works with the energy, the chi,
yes,
and so it either does some manipulating actually, or it doesn't work with manipulating, but it does something else so that the flow of energy can keep.
yeah. Well, at one point when he was putting the, I think when he was putting the needle in around my knee, um, he heard a pop, and I mean I heard it too. It's just like a little pop, and he said, "Oh, that's a good sign, because that means your energy is flowing. That was your energy popping." I went, "Oh,
Oh,
okay, that was
cool.
pretty good."
That was good. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, keep
I
the.
didn't know your energy could pop like that.
I know. Well, yeah, the way things get stopped up or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, off track or something.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we're learning to pay attention a little bit more.
yes, definitely.
Well, my hope is that we'll have a nice group of people and we'll have a good Sunday meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be able to go to Al's translation class by any chance?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not.
Yeah.
Um, actually, I hadn't thought about it, but um, I might be able to.
Yeah, it's something I'm kind of thinking about, but I don't know if I can. We can't even move into our place until July 11th.
Wow.
I know. So we're living with relatives with my sister, and then we just moved from her place we were with her for 2 weeks. Now we're here for a week, and then I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Hello,
Yeah.
Calvin.
Hello, I love the backyard. It's beautiful. Love the flowers.
Oh, Wisconsin is so full of green. It's like
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable, unbelievable.
Well, it reminds me of Oregon but then I also remember the winters there. So, oh yeah.
Oh, the winters here are unbelievable. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hey, Janet's joining us. Hey, and Calvin, would you be able for temporarily to share your video?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Oh, I didn't know that wasn't showing. Okay. Yes.
Oh, good.
There we go.
And same thing for Janet. Would you be able to share? Oh, no, Janet, we need to get her a computer. She doesn't have a computer
If
that.
Janet doesn't have a camera. Janet has a computer,
Yeah,
but it does not have a camera or a microphone.
yeah.
Remember, I have Amish ancestors.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
Oh.
oh my goodness, I should have known. Well, Amish.
I do not have a horse, but I'm a little buggy.
Oh my,
Mm.
yeah. Well, that's
Hmm.
cool. Very cool. Jiminy crickets, huh? Well, then you're not going to be able to do it, and that's okay. But I was thinking at the beginning, I'd have everybody that comes to share their audio and their video briefly share their name, share their location, and then share one thing that calms you. So you can still share that in words, Janet, but it can't. You
Yes.
don't have. So that's all right. We'll live. We'll live.
I don't have to look calm.
No one will know. You are right. Yeah, the thing in Wisconsin that's kind of interesting, there's so many lakes around here, big lakes. In fact, we went on a boat the other day, and on the lake, and the lakes are very full. Hey, we've got Jean Fisher has made it. Now, Jean is another person who's not able to get her video going, I do believe. Is that right, Jean? you are going to be audio, but you can't be video.
Well, she's got her
So
audio
she can't-
turned up.
She's got her audio turned on, and she's got some kind of computer where she's limited, but she's attended my talks before, and whenever she's able to, she does come. So I'm glad you're here, Jean, regardless. Dominica, I have not seen or heard from you for a long time. It's good to see you. Can you use your video and audio? Can you share it?
I would prefer not to use the video.
Okay.
I will use the audio.
It's not absolutely necessary.
Okay.
But, you know, when you're doing an online talk, it's just so different from going to a place. And then for the speaker, I think it's that way for everybody, but especially for the speaker. Here you are, you're talking, and when everybody's there in front of you, you can tell when this one is saying, I got to get out of here.
I know that. What time is it there right now?
Oh, you know what? 1 o'clock.
11 a.m.
Al is here. Hey, Al.
Oh,
11 a.m. Pacific Coast time.
It's
Hi,
11
Heather.
California. Hello, Al. And,
no, I was
What
asking Heather her time.
oh, my time is
Whatever
1.
happened to the Melchizedek beyond time, space, and change thing here?
Oh, well, that's all right here. It's always here. How come I don't see Al's
It
name?
says Rick Thomas.
Is that who it is? You're not Rick, but you're Al?
Well, let's see.
Yes.
I don't particularly know why I'm Rick, but maybe Rick is in fact out of town, as we know.
Oh, okay.
He's up in the country somewhere.
Now, can you use his the video for Rick for temporarily?
Probably. Let me brush my hair and I'll turn it on.
And Kathy,
Not in my present state, dearie. Not in my present state.
okay, no
Oh,
problem.
Kathy Gallo.
Kathy Gallo, good to see you. Kathy is in Vista, and she attended a drawing class, and she's quite a thinker and a gardener and all kinds of interesting things that she's involved in. Hello, Kathy. And do you have audio? You do, I think. Oh, anyway. Okay, so for everybody that's here, welcome. It's 1 o'clock. I kind of get started when it's time. So we can all do what we can do. So some people can use audio, some people can use video, some people can do both, some people can do none. Do what you can. Share your name, share your location, and share one thing that calms you. It is something that calms. Okay, so I'll begin. Okay, name, Heather Williams. Location, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. And one thing that calms me is if I am listening to myself. I'm not going to give something that's outside of me, like a particular drink or something like that. Although CBD is occasionally used, but, it just that I listen, and when I'm listening, that's what calms me. Anyway, so next person.
Well, I guess going across the top, I'm the next person. I'm Janet Cornwell. I'm in Torrance, California, south of Los Angeles, if you're not familiar with the area. And what calms me is looking at the ocean, or thinking about looking at the ocean.
Beautiful. Thank you. Next.
My name is Ann Bowman. I'm in Los Angeles, California, and a good belly laugh helps calm me.
I love that.
Love it. Love it.
Hi, I'm Dominica Sheeler. I live in Chula Vista, California, and meditating helps to calm and helps me to focus my thoughts.
Beautiful.
Hello?
Hello, Kathy. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, this is Kathy Gallo, and I am from San Marcos, California, which is right next to Vista, California, where Heather just left and moved to.
Yep.
And what calms me down right now are kitty cats.
Oh, yeah.
Petting kitty.
I understand.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
I'm Calvin Harris, and I am in Cathedral City, California. And water, like in fountains, pools, oceans, always seem to calm me down, either sitting by or in them.
I understand. Yes. So we've heard from Dominica, Janet. We've heard from Kathy, Calvin. I think Al and let's see. I'm not going to hear from Jean. Anne, did we hear from you? Did you say something?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
What was it again?
Oh, I said that a good belly laugh.
Oh gosh, yes, that's great. Thank
How
you.
could we forget that?
No, I know. Oh, brother. All right. Well, I guess that's enough. Everybody can close their videos, close their audio. Now, I want to say one thing. Now, Ben isn't here, and he was doing some kind of, helpfulness on this. Now, when I'm not able to record this, because when I click record, it just says, please request record permission from the meeting host. So whoever that is.
Oh, I think that might be Ben.
Yeah, well, so we're not able to record this.
I'm glad I'm here then.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that's waited, but I will want to get that straightened out at some point. So.
I see a light flashing that says recording.
Oh, you
But-
see, mine isn't recording. Oh, that's
Mine
it.
says the same thing. It's a red light and it says recording.
I'm
Maybe
seeing
it
the
needs
same thing.
not flashing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we have to just do what we got to do here, I guess. So, okay, so let's begin. All right. So introducing myself, I don't think I need to do too much of that. I think you all know that I'm Heather Williams and that I love to teach drawing. I've been a mentor in the Prosperos since 1978, and a couple people, everybody somewhat has heard of the Prosperos, but I'm going to tell you just a little bit to introduce the Prosperos. It's a school of ontology, and ontology means what? Onto, break the word down. Onto means being. Ology means the study of. So the school, with all of its classes, all of its activities, it's focused upon learning about the deeper self. So you're going to learn something, yes, about the physical part of you in terms of, okay, we learn about the phylogenetic and the ontogenetic. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff to learn about who we are. And if you are a person who questions, why did this happen? What do I mean by that? Who am I in this world? If you have questions like that, you might be interested to learn more about the Prosperos School of Ontology. We have tools that if you practice, and that's like anything, you can take a class, and if you don't practice, then I don't know where you go, really, not far. But if you do practice the tools in the Prosperos, what you will do is free yourself from some of the conditioning that has you feeling limited, lacking, stressed out, anxious, and we all have this. But there are tools that are workable and are genuine and get you in touch with a part of your identity that is whole, complete, and perfect. It is here now, and it's right here. But how do you get to it? So we'll talk a little bit about it. So we're going to talk about calming ourselves in a stressful world. I'm going to talk about stress. You might enjoy Henry Kissinger. You remember that guy, Henry Kissinger? He said this: there cannot be a stressful crisis next week. My schedule is full. I like that. Lily Tomlin said, reality. Okay, you got the word reality. She says, reality is the leading cause of stress for those who are in touch with it. Those who are in touch with reality, yeah, okay, that's stressful. Now here's Marcus Aurelius. You might remember this guy from 2,000 years ago from a history class. And Calvin Harris is giving cultural history. For all I know, he touches base with things 2,000 years ago in his cultural history class. Maybe he can say a little bit something about it at the end of the talk. But Marcus Aurelius said this, quote, it's interesting. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself. The pain is due to your estimate of it or to your interpretation of it. And this interpretation that you have, this you have the power to revoke at any time. I love that. That makes me think of the little statement that started to come to me in the move that we're making from Vista, California to Wisconsin. It's 2,400 miles. It is a long move, and it's taking time. There's quite a lot of stress involved. You and your partner, and oh my gosh, you're not in your home. You're in somebody else's home, and that's all kinds of issues and all that stuff. Well, I've been listening to myself, and I came up with this question, which really helped me. I shared it at the last Sunday meeting. Here it is. I ask myself this question in the midst of maybe I'm arguing or feeling something. I say this: am I resisting, or am I creating a new response? So if I'm resisting, I know I'm stuck in an old me, separate from something, and I'm fighting it. And we do live in a world, in a world of relationships with people and things and objects that we interpret as being separate from us. And then we have issues. And a lot of times the resistance is just old stuff. And if you ask this question of yourself, am I resisting? Reacting? That was the word. Am I reacting? Or am I creating a new response? That gets you a little bit closer to taking the power that he talked about. You have the power to revoke your interpretation of things. Because your interpretation is what you put out there as what's going on. You have the power to make the world around you into what it is for you. There's something in that that's quite huge. The Buddha says something similar. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond. That's the same thing. And this is where your power is. All right. So I'd like to share a little story. This is a story called The Thirsty Crow. Okay? The Thirsty Crow. Now, one day a crow flew over a field and he was looking for water. He could not find any water. He's flying and flying. He couldn't find any water. He was really thirsty. He was starting to kind of feel weak. Suddenly, he saw a water jug below a tree. He flew down, to see if there was water in it. Think about water. I'm going to get a little water. I got it right there. So the crow looked inside the jug, and he tried to push his head down into the neck of the jug, but the neck was too narrow. He couldn't do it. So he thought, well, maybe I can push the jug over and spill the water out. But the jug was too heavy. So he thought, and he looked around, and he saw some pebbles. He got an idea. He picked up pebbles one by one and dropped them into the jug. More pebbles, more pebbles, more pebbles. They filled up the jug and the water level rose up. Soon the crow was able to drink the water. His plan worked. The moral of the story: think, work hard, and you will find a solution. Now, one thing, let's talk reality. That's a wonderful story, and it's true, I think. But you know, I'm moving to Madison, and they have something, you know, Madison, Wisconsin is the capital of Wisconsin. So they have all kinds of stuff. They have a newspaper called the Cap Times. And in this newspaper that came out in May, they talked about burnout. And they went into some details about how many young professional people in the age of the millennials, this is millennials, I think, is it's not the baby boomers. Gen X is after the baby boomers. So this would be about 1985 to 1996 or something like that. These are millennials, and they are feeling exhausted, detached, insecure, and their work performance is deteriorating. So let me give you 3 stories. Here's somebody called Sagacious Livingston. She's an author and an entrepreneur. And for her, burnout meant withdrawing from life altogether. She said, for a year, I just lay down. I didn't have any energy. I was getting fatter and fatter, and I didn't know if I was going to come back. So that's her story. Then there's a guy named Casey Brandt, a computer programmer. He worked downtown Madison. He said burnout used to mean working a full-time job and then immediately going home to work on software for the boost in his career that he hoped for. And off and on over the last few years, he said he stopped hanging out with friends, began to feel drained. He said, I'd load up a project and I just stare at it. I was going through the motions, but my motivation and energy were gone. So he just really maxed out. And then there's Stacy Garbarsky, 26-year-old woman, an actress, an animal shelter resource counselor. She said there were times she would work 80 hours a week. She apparently managed appointments and pet adoptions during the day, and then at night would go to the theater and work with some kind of theater project. And then she'd go home and take care of a special needs pit bull doggy at home. She said she had a tough time saying no to new projects. She'd sign up for multiple shows at once. She began to find it tough to wake up in the morning to go to work, to feel any kind of positivity about her job. She became angered easily, blowing up at cars. She was feeling burnout. It's a psychological syndrome marked by feelings of exhaustion, detachment, insecurity, deterioration of work performance. So apparently, the Gallup poll said 2/3 of all employees in the United States may be experiencing some degree of burnout. It could be all this stuff, and it could be as simple as somebody constantly looking at their iPhone or their computer. They can't kind of get off the ping of the next email. All that gets people. So let's do a little something called word tracking to understand the words we're using. Now in the Prosperos, there's a school, tool called translation. There's a class that we give, and you learn this tool in the class. You learn to translate what your senses are telling you, translate it back to the deeper, fundamental essence of what's going on. It's essentially important tool. And one of the things that we do to begin to get moving with this and understanding the words we're using and the senses that we're feeling, word track. So word tracking. What is that? Okay, you look up a word. Now I'm going to look up the word calm. I asked you, what is something that helps you feel calm? And we had all kinds of interesting responses, wonderful responses, like getting a good belly laugh, watching the water. The Greek origin of the word calm, the word is kauma. I don't know if that's pronounced, but it's K-A-U-M-A, kauma. It referred to the heat of the day. I guess it's the calm part of the day. We have definitions for calm, means the absence of violent or confrontational activity, the absence of nervousness, the absence of wind. So that the word calm, I didn't realize all that stuff was related to the word calm. It's interesting. Look up the words you're using to describe your world. The word calm had the word absence 3 times. Where does that come from? Absence. It's a Latin origin. Absentia means non-existence. No wind today. Calm. No nervousness. Calm. Now let's look up the word stress. Comes from the Latin word strictus, S-T-R-I-C-T-U-S, strictus, which means drawn tight. So we're talking about stress. The word stress can be defined as pressure or tension, a state of mental or emotional strain that comes from some kind of adverse circumstance. So the Latin origin, strictus, it's drawn tight. Well, that makes sense. So now you've got some of these words that give you a little deeper understanding of the words. Very helpful to begin your translation of whatever you think is going on. Very good to word track. You might be interested in taking a translation class. We're going to have one coming up, a live class with the Prosperos Dean, Al Haferkamp. It's going to be, careful, it's going to be August 9th and 10th, Saturday and Sunday, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a bit of a drive, or it's a bit of a, get into a new place you've never been. It's going to, I don't know the name of the hotel. Maybe Al can tell us. I've got to get that information. It'll be at a hotel in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think it would be a fabulous thing. I'm going to try my best to be able to attend. Now, I would like to keep my Sunday meetings to about 35 minutes. We've now got us about 24 minutes. So we don't have a lot more, but let me talk a little bit about self-observation that's involved, I think, at the core of all that we would talk about at Sunday meetings, and I think also in all of our classes. Self-observation is essential, and what is it? Well, typically we're all pretty much used to, very familiar with, and it's kind of a habit of observing the world around us. And there's nothing wrong with that. Observe the world around you. Notice where the tables are and where the chairs are and who the people are. Make sure you're in a safe environment. Make sure that the door that you're going to walk into is really vertical and strong. You're not going to walk into something that's unsafe. It's important to observe the world around you. But what if you are interested in freeing yourself from the conditioning that has you feel anxious, stressed, limited, lacking in something? If you're interested in exploring the deeper part of you, then you will want to begin a practice of observing yourself as you observe the world around you. Observe the tightness in your tummy. Observe how you feel about as you're looking at something or someone. Just to notice what's going on inside you as you observe the world around you. And again, that question, am I reacting or am I creating a new response? This is moving into your power zone where you do have power. You do not have power over somebody else. You do not. You don't have power over the weather. And in Wisconsin, the weather changes all the time. We had a beautiful day, totally sunny. Now, guess what? It's supposed to be today. It's supposed to be a little bit rainy and a little mostly cloudy. Well, I'll tell you what. What's happening now is that the clouds are moving away and I see blue sky. It's like, whoa, really? No, we don't have power over the weather. And we don't have power over what's necessarily going to happen next, but we do have power over our responses. So, good question to ask yourself, am I reacting to something or am I creating a new response? Now, you know, I think almost everybody here knows I find drawing to be a very helpful thing to do. And I know that not everybody thinks drawing is just something neat to do. However, taking a pen and a piece of paper and drawing a line can be helpful. So let's give it a shot. Get a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper out. Could be nice big paper. It could be a tiny little paper. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw a line that expresses you feeling stress. A line, and it can be one line, it can be 25 lines. It's a line. Start with a line, and you are going to have this line express you feeling stress. What does that line do? In your imagination, that's all we're talking about, and you listening to you feeling stressed. I think we're done with this. You got that line? That is, and you can put the word stress over this. It can be just a little thing. All right, good. Now then the next, we're going to move a little bit over on your paper. I'd like you to draw a line that expresses you being calm. A line that expresses you being calm. There you go. Okay, now, I would very much be interested to share a little bit of thoughts. You don't have to share your drawing, but share some words of what What did you get out of this? Anything? Anybody? Your thoughts are important. You drew a
Well,
line.
I can describe my drawings and why I think they're the way they are.
Okay.
Stress was a spiral going inward into a black blob of not being able to get out. Calm was a wavy line with slightly different highs and lows, but the ends were open.
Beautiful. Anything that you might learn about yourself from looking at that, from seeing that, from doing that?
Funny how the wavy line looks like water. Water sign here. Yeah. When I am calm, I have the ends out. You know, I can reach things. When I'm stressed, I can't reach anything. I'm wound up inside.
Take note. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Janet.
I thought that was interesting because I had wavy lines for stress and and a circular line circling back in on itself for calm. And for me, it was like doing the meditative circle that you can do. And also looking at it was like ripples on the water. So I thought that was very interesting.
See if you can take away something to think about that. If you get into a stressful feeling, that you could even kind of visualize the calm part. Does it help you to move into that? I don't know. To think about. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you.
Heather, this is Al.
Okay, Al, let Kathy go and then you go.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay, here's mine.
Okay.
You can see it.
Yeah.
And for the stress, they're kind of shorter,
Oh, yeah.
more jaggedy, more darker of a drawing. And then the calm is a more looser, more fluid, lighter, and I almost want to say more feminine for me, you know? So those are kind of the words. I think a lot of them, a lot of people are like that, but I could see the difference between the two. So I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you. See if in the days to come, if you feel a little stress of something, see if I don't know, you can bring up the picture of calm. You could kind of support yourself thinking about the calm. Do I have the power to shift from that to that? I think that might be worthwhile.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Yes.
Thank you, Kathy. And Al.
Well, I think my drawing is similar to what other people are doing, and the stressful one was played out as sort of a curve that kept dropping and dropping and dropping as though weighted by something on its shoulders. And the calm illustration was kind of a horizontal, long, slow, easy moving curve, like if you look out over the ocean when there's a long swell running. And it stays at a certain level, not too much modulation up or down, but very smooth across the surface. But the thing that came to me out of it was the fact that I can take dominion over either one of these things. I have the ability, in drawing the calm, I evoked calm in myself. In drawing the stress, I invoked stress in myself, which means I have the ability to assume the virtue that I need to assume in any situation.
Yes.
just a reminder of that.
That's beautiful. And sometimes maybe, just having a little visual thing is another little helpful thing to remember that power you have. Yeah, thank you. Cool. Anybody else? All righty. All righty. Now, let's see here. Where am I? Oh, yeah. I want to read a poem. So let me see if I can figure this out. Okay, now. Okay. This is a poem by, and I don't think I can share the screen. I'm stopping sharing screens. I was doing that before, and then it did all kinds of interesting things. So anyway, this is a poem by a woman named Joy Harjo. She was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1951. She's a member of the, it's a MVSKOKE Creek Nation. It's a Native American. She received the Wallace Stevens Award for Poetry in 2015, and she was elected Chancellor of the Academy of American Poets this year, 2019. Here's her poem. It is called Remember. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away tonight. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories. Talk to them. Listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember, we are all people, and all people are you. Remember, you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember, all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember, language comes from this. Remember the dance language is, that life is. Remember. So now, I'd just like to say thank you very much for coming to this Sunday meeting. I want to remind you that the translation class at the Doubletree Hotel in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, that might be something to look up. The dates are August 10th and 11th, not the 9th and the 10th. Sorry about that. Saturday and Sunday. And on the Prosperos website, if you go to www.theprosperos.org, and I think, you know what, that's not, I think if you, I don't know quite where you click to get translation. We need to put that up somewhere. Perhaps you could search for translation, but it's on the website.
I just went to the website,
yeah,
and it's right on the first page. It's on the right side.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Domenica.
Yeah.
I hope you might be able to come over there and take the class.
Yeah, it says upcoming events. It's right there. You can't miss it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, next Sunday on June 16th, we're going to have Richard Hartnett. is going to be the speaker for Sunday meeting. It's going to use the same link for Sunday meeting, for my Sunday meetings and for his. And my next Sunday meeting will be on July 14th. So thank you all very, very much. I hope you take away a little something that will calm you, give you some connection to the powers you have. And look forward to seeing you again. You can always email me if you got any thoughts you wanted to share. Heather@drawingtogether.com. Okay?
Okay.
Thank
Wonderful.
you very
Thank
much, everybody. Anything you're welcome to. And I didn't have the ability to copy this or record this. So if somebody did, copy it to the cloud, I guess is what Ben said.
Heather, I think that Ben was saying that yours is automatically being recorded. That's why they're seeing the recording.
Oh. Well, mine doesn't allow me to record, so I guess.
Because he was saying something about that it would automatically go to the cloud.
So, Ann, did you get say it was recording on yours? Or
Yes, that's
Okay.
what it looks like. The little recording button is flashing, so.
okay, so maybe I don't know if you click on that. I think Ben said that you can click to save it to your computer or save it to the cloud. Can you save it to the cloud?
I'm clicking on the button, but it's not.
Not doing anything?
So.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll learn. We'll learn. Okay, well, thank you guys very much. And stay tuned. More to come.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
Aloha.
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 Aloha.